Margaret Kuhlman of Soul Astrology. This coming month, following the new moon at the late degrees of Virgo, includes Mars in Aries retrograding square to Saturn first and then Pluto, and shortly after the next new moon on the 16th of October it squares Jupiter as well. Saturn, Pluto and Jupiter throughout this year have been describing the circumstances that we've all been living with, starting with a pandemic, a virus, an illness, and becoming now a set of regulations, rules put in place for the apparent safety of individuals. Saturn is very much about things being secure, safe for survival of the physical, especially in Capricorn, not just the physical body, but the physical circumstances which we have become used to. Our lifestyle, the way that business and the necessities of physical life are organized. And in the fear of losing those, it becomes an extreme attempt to control life external to the individual. Individuals are that in the being that inhabits the bodies. So somewhere along this line, the individual within the body has been forgotten. The overriding of individual needs for the sake of their body. And of course, without the body, how can the spirit be in this physical experience? But Mars represents the energy that rises in each individual, that which grips the solar plexus. And in Aries, we've been noticing it's very much about the concerns of the individual person, my desires, my life, my freedoms, the freedom to be that individual. But of course from the solar plexus it comes out as frustration and anger and rage. And when it squares other planets, the anger and rage and impatience and everything becomes directed towards what that planet represents. So very much this month is about the rage against the control on the physical level. It's interesting how the fear that was looming just around the illness and death and so on has now become a fear of losing freedom, of losing control, of handing control to an external authority. In fact, of course, we all have our own authority, and we need to be in touch with that to feel a sense that it can have expression in order to embrace caution rather than fear as a guiding principle. In the second part of the month, Mars will be squaring Pluto, which tends to get to the bottom of things, actually focusing on the apparent root cause of the difficulties, with possible attempts to completely overthrow whatever appears to be powerfully put in place. So during this month, we all get a chance to see how fear can be harnessed to support any outlook, any attitude. One can criticize and be negative from any standpoint towards any other standpoint. Fighting does not bring peace. Mercury is in Libra in the first half of the month, and the Sun in Libra for the full moon. Venus, who rules Libra, in the first half of the month trines Chiron from Leo, so relating perhaps more to our losses our pains on both sides. Whereas at the full moon, it's the moon that is actually on Chiron, while Venus trines Mars, in a way endeavouring perhaps to soften the results of its square to Pluto. Venus very quickly goes into Virgo after the full moon, so early October, suggesting that we do actually focus on what needs to be done rather than just supporting the sense of individual rights and so on. And possibly our relating to each other in that way can bring about useful action from the Mars, so that the Pluto depths that are revealed can be shifted and changed. And love would be the key to that. The love we have for each other, not for the nameless other, but for our own communities, for our neighbours and friends. Working together, not in a sense of fear against anything, but just being who we are, relating as people. By the full moon we find that Mercury is in Scorpio, so perhaps more openly ready to engage with the deeper issues, owning up to our own deeper issues, expressing the feelings that may be overridden by our reactions to the fear and the circumstances, coming to our real feelings, what matters deeply in each one of us. So I would recommend for us all to spend the second half of this month at least having another look at what we really want, what we really feel, and focusing as best we can on trusting that the positive possibilities never disappear. So speak not only of what's wrong, but bring colour and light to what is possible, that which lights your heart. So this whole month seems to be quite extraordinary. It's not the end of the turbulence either, another step in the path. We are all getting a wonderful practice in finding the beauty, the pleasure, the joy, the fun, wherever we can find it, and letting that be a goodly part of our life. So have fun. Thank you. Lost you may feel, but you are wrapped around with the love that is all things. Do your best each day, allowing that it might vary. Nothing is static. There is no total death, except the moment of your complete surrender to the love of spirit. And that is the death of your fear. Being is everything.